Welcome back to Afternoon Express. So we are back on the couch with psychiatrist Professor Renata Skuman, HR specialist Cindy Hendricks, and dietitian Kim Ritgers. And we're continuing our conversation on how to manage your personal and professional lives. So I love this conversation. I can speak about it all day because I really believe that happiness is the most important thing. Being happy is the most important feeling that you could have, especially at work. So I think everybody has stress. Everybody deals with stress. How do you know then when you're depressed, when it's more than just I'm feeling a little bit low? How do you know when it goes that extra step?
So the two core things, as I mentioned earlier, would be either having a depressed mood, so feeling sad and down, and or a loss of interest and joy and pleasure. So you stop doing, or you're not interested in doing the things that you used to enjoy. That is the two core things that need to be there. And obviously it needs to be there for a significant portion of time. So it's not like I have a bad day today. It needs to be there for a 2-week period. I always say if it's feeling bad for 3 days in a row, then start to worry.
And as an HR specialist, I mean, I'm sure you have lots of suggestions as how to boost up the morale and have that company culture be vibey. I mean, a lot of people do the Friday braais. A lot of people, you know, do that after work get together. How much does that play a part in boosting the morale and the togetherness of the company?
I think it's important to have fun at work. And so companies should not, they should have enough of those activities. They should definitely promote wellness within the workplace, with wellness days. They should have employee assistance programs where they can assist employees and refer them to psychiatric treatment, or if they've gone through any traumatic experiences, financial difficulty as well. So I think the company has a responsibility and an obligation to promote and educate people on wellness. And
I wonder if you could answer this, but I mean, how does the law support companies and employees in the workplace? And I'm speaking specifically about women, like if you fall pregnant and you have your leave. I mean, I always believe that the happier and the more secure people are at work, then the more productive they're going to be. So, I mean, how does the law look after people and their happiness, I suppose, in the workplace?
So there are a number of things in the Basic Conditions of Employment Act that protects employees. So pregnancy is one of those things. Discrimination, the Employment Equity Act protects people against any form of discrimination. While mental health is not particularly a thing, but somebody could have a particular illness or stigma attached.
Yeah, we were chatting about that a little bit earlier. Like if somebody does suffer from depression or any kind of mental illness, what is their allowance, I suppose, of days off? Or, I mean, if you're not able to go to work, and I mean, how do you draw the line as to what's acceptable and what's?
So that's where companies,
how do you deal with it?
Sorry, that's where companies have an opportunity to assist employees. So there's the basic conditions of employment that give, the very basic, like it says. So 30 days when someone's sick, 3 days when someone needs family responsibility. So that's where companies can boost that, and they can increase that, and they can give you more than what the law actually allows. Because there are various situations people find themselves in. So so companies shouldn't just be rigid and focus on what the law says. You've got to look at your industry, you've got to look at your employees and the type of work that they do, and you've got to then adopt your policies to cater for that.
Now, in terms of food and the relaxed energy that is in the work from both of you ladies, I mean, a lot of people, I think it's in China, where they literally have an hour after lunch to sleep. I mean, just like a sleep break, but then at the same time that they have seen that is quite productive, because, you know, they call it, what's a lunchtime slump?
And in Spain they have a siesta.
A siesta,
and in Italy they have a 2-hour lunch break where people actually go home to their families and all have lunch together.
Wow.
I love that. How lovely is that?
I think that's a nice way to kind of play with it, but at the same time, you don't want your employees taking advantage. You don't. You want to make sure that at the end of the day, if we do give you this freedom, you are delivering.
Yeah. I would be more productive at home. No, I think in like an office environment, I think I'd be more productive working from home. But I think that's the best part about 2019 is so many more people are able to work remotely.
But a lot of people who do have children find that, especially now during the holiday season, the children come, mommy, because I know you're
home. They can't wait to be in an office again.
And then they like, take me back. All of a sudden they miss the traffic. But I mean, ladies, I know you're a new mom. How are you balancing it? Or rather, you introduced a new member to your family 3 months ago. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How has it been?
So I'm struggling with the school holidays because I've got a 6-year-old and the 3-month-old. So I am having that mommy. But it is about striking that balance. And I think also, you know, working for myself, I do want to have an opportunity to do some work and get away from that. But it's also important to spend the time with the family. And so it's just about striking that balance and finding what works for you. But 3 weeks of school holidays are very long.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a 3-week holiday. Prof, I just want to ask, I mean, the world is changing so quickly. Just some tips and ideas on how we can make the workplace a much more pleasant environment. Like I know in some places they do mental health pets, where you can take your pets to work. That is a great idea. I know we do that in this office. It's a zoo in here.
I think the problem is, what do you do if other employees are very worried or very scared of pets? So it's always there, who do you accommodate?
Shame,
so
they're going to have to leave.
Yeah, it's about reasonable accommodation. But I think that is the whole thing about employers to be reasonable and to be good leaders and to create healthy organisation that can promote wealth and again for the employees. But employees have responsibilities. And just 5 tips that I always teach my students and my patients is the acronym SEEDS: sleeping, exercise, educate, your diet, and don't forget to socialise. And that is enough to keep you resilient.
Nowadays, there's a huge buzzword around self-care, and I think it's such an important message that we're seeing now a lot online, is being busy and being too busy actually isn't cool anymore. You've got to learn when to say no, create boundaries with work so that you can take care of yourself. What are some ideas to implement that within yourself?
The one thing that I do, also having more than one career, is I literally schedule time in my diary. So I make an appointment with myself, gym or run, and it's highlighted and color-coded, and that is my time. And I will work patients and other appointments around it. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
I mean, Doc, you and Rihanna, same WhatsApp group. Rihanna actually just came out of this latest interview saying that she does the same thing. She puts the letter P, and that means it's a personal day. Do not call me, do not text me. And I can absolutely imagine how that's working for you.
Absolutely. And the other thing is we often waste time. If you think in 15 minutes, how many times in a day do you think it's only 15 minutes, you know, and you go onto social media? But you can do a lot for yourself in 15 minutes. You can move around, you can walk, you can drink water, you can crochet, you can do whatever you can. But 15 minutes all add up if you add it up during the day.
Amazing. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. We are all feeling so much more relaxed, de-stressed. Tomorrow we're all going to take a personal day. Joking. We're going to be back tomorrow because we meet one of my favorite artists, Nelson Makamo. He's amazing. He had the honor of gracing the Time magazine February cover. He's going to be right here in the loft. We'll see you then. Good night and God bless.